Good morning, guys. I don't want to ruin anything for you guys. I just want you guys to listen to this love story. Happy Valentine's Day, wherever you are. If you're spending it alone or you're spending it with your partner, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys enjoy this. Stay tuned.
Hey everybody, my name is Leah and my YouTube channel is Leah Lifestyle Vlogs. You guys can go and check me out. My Instagram is also Leah_Gordon, so you guys can find me there. So I'm so excited to be doing this collaboration with Cloni. I really hope I'm saying it or pronouncing your name right, girl. But yeah, she's been such an amazing supporter and such an amazing friend, so I'm really excited to be doing this with her. She gave me a whole bunch of questions that she asked me to answer for you guys, so that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, I hope you guys are subscribed to her channel and make sure you put on your notifications because this Valentine series I think is going to be amazing. So yeah, I'm going to jump into the questions. I've written them all down because there's quite a list. Just bear with my voice. I'm recovering from a cold, so yeah, I'm still a bit sick and I've got something to drink here just to clear my throat. That is hot. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. So basically I've been married for now in January 2022 it'll be 5 years, and I've been with my partner for going on 8 years in June this year. His name is Marco. We are very happily married. We've had our ups and downs, but yeah, we've made it quite far, I think. So yeah, I'm going to go into the questions. He's not one for the camera, that's why I'm doing this on my own, and you'll see by my YouTube channel also he's barely shows his face because it's just not his thing. So but he supports me fully, so yeah, we're going forward. So the first question is, how did we meet? So Mark and I kind of grew up together in a sense. Our families knew each other from way back when, so we always used to see each other as children. I wouldn't really say we grew up together. We weren't involved in each other's lives like 24/7. Also, when I was 7, I ended up going overseas and coming back at a later age and stuff, but we did know each other and we knew each other's family from like way back babies. I did talk about it in one of my Vlogmas videos when I spoke about adjusting to my husband's Christmas tradition, so you guys can go and check that out. But in any case, yeah, and then we kind of rekindled when I was 19. I think I was 19. We started chatting because he did tattoos. I always liked Marco, right? And I always knew that at some point we would kind of like have something going. I didn't think we would end up married with kids, but yeah, so we kind of started chatting over Facebook because he was staying in Puerto Rico at the time. And yeah, we started chatting over Facebook over like TV series and stuff, and we were chatting and chatting and chatting, and then he ended up coming back and I needed a tattoo fixed because he did tattoos, and I ended up arranging with him and I went there and he fixed my tattoo, and then I went the following weekend. He said, don't I want to go for the weekend? I said yes. And I went and I spent the weekend with him, and at the end of that weekend, yeah, we just started dating and the rest is history. So that's kind of how we met / started dating. So that's how it happened. When did you meet? I think that kind of answers that. So it was actually, the whole situation happened in 2014. Yeah, so I was actually 20. So it happened in 2014. That's when we kind of started dating, I would say. But like I said, we've known each other for many, many years. What attracted you to your partner? So what attracted me to Marco? I don't know. I always just thought he was so cute and so handsome. And I mean, I had a crush on him from when I was like a kid. And he always just seemed like this bad boy, and he wasn't necessarily, but he always just seemed so like intense, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. He always was like so mysterious, and he never spoke too much, and he was there when he was there and not there when he was not there. And I don't know. I just always thought he was hot. So, that's what attracted me to him. All right. Do I remember our first date? I do. Funny enough, our first date was actually after we started dating, because we knew each other. That we didn't need to go through that whole like courting situation. So after we started dating, Marco wasn't working at that time. He was focusing on his art and doing tattoos on the side. I was working full time, so I was like, no, I want to take you out on a date. So we ended up walking like from his apartment down to this mall. It was called Sancardia in Sunnyside, and we walked down to the mall, and we ended up going to Spa, and yeah, we just ate there and we had so much fun, and your girl got the bill because I ain't funny about things like that. But in any case, so the funny thing about our first date that always makes me remember it is that time Spa was giving, or like whenever you used to order like a steak, they would give you these huge steak knives, and we both ordered steaks that day, and we totally hijacked those knives. We straight stole them, and we had them for years, like years. We had those knives, and yeah, it was just so funny and so memorable, and yeah, we had a really good time, and we ended up walking back to his apartment, and yeah, it was fun. So I always remember our first date. Alright, when did you know you were in love? So I didn't know, because I had a very bad track record. Like my whole thing was that I didn't want to get married. I didn't like want to settle down and all those things. And when Marco and I met, I was not looking for anybody. Like I was just enjoying my life, living my best life, having fun, doing me, and then he came out of nowhere. And I think he told me he loved me like from the first month, and I was just like, no, this is too soon. Like, you know, my relationships never lasted long. Like, I'm not about to like commit to you like that. And so I just kind of avoided it the whole time. And then at 3 months, he said it to me face to face, and I was just like, you know what? I actually really do like this guy. Like I really, really do. So I actually said it back to him, and yeah, the rest was history basically. But it did take me some time after we started dating to realize that I loved him, and not just liked him and was just, you know, being blinded. So yeah, that was when I knew. How did you know your partner was the one for you? You know, I tried to bring a lot of guys to my parents because their opinion mattered to me. So even if it wasn't serious, my parents always met the guys I was either going out with or whatever, because I wanted to make sure they knew my parents. But in the few like serious relationships that I had in my teenage years, the guys were always so intimidated by my father. Like my father is like can be kind of scary when he really wants to, and he would always try and go out of his way to intimidate the guys around me so they knew not to mess with me. But they would always like fall for it, and I always hated that. I hated that they would like become submissive and be like, yes uncle, can I do this for you, uncle, can I do that for you, uncle. There was one guy I dated, shame, he was so sweet, but he spent a New Year's with us, and my uncles just basically like sent him around the entire night, and he was just like trying to be sweet, trying to have manners, and just he was just running after them and, you know, pouring them drinks and making sure they were fine the whole time. And they had this whole like big head mentality, and I hated that. So when Marco came into the picture and my dad tried his stunts, Marco was just like, I'm not scared of you, like I don't care, like do you, your opinion is your opinion. Like, he was always respectful, and he still is, but he didn't give in to my father just because my father tried to intimidate him. And that is when I knew he was the one for me, because I need someone that's not going to just, jump for everyone and everything. So I love that about Marco. He stands his ground. If he doesn't want to do something, he's going to tell you no, and that's that. Like, don't even try and convince him. I do still try my luck, but that's me. But in regards to other people, like, if you ask Marco something and he doesn't want to do it, he's not gonna just do it to try and impress you. And I always liked that about him. So that's when I knew he was the one for me. Any challenges you have overcome in your relationship? I mean, we've overcome a lot. a lot. Mark and I have had a lot of ups and downs. We are also in a situation where our families have history and don't really get along. This has caused a lot of challenges for us, and it has actually affected our relationship in a lot of situations. But we always overcome it, and we always come out stronger for it, and we always stand together. I don't know. I think we've overcome a lot, and it's a lot of the things are very personal, but I don't think it's ever a situation where you should think that a relationship is easy, because it's not. There are going to be challenges. I mean, when Mark and I started dating, he didn't have a job, and I was like, no, you are going to get your ass in gear. And he did. He did. He didn't argue with me, but it was a challenge, and it was something we had to overcome. We've had friends on both of our sides that were extremely toxic that we had to overcome together, and we did it. We've had there's so many. I could go on for days, but there's so many challenges, big and small, that you go through in a relationship. Moving in together, getting married, planning a wedding, having kids, bills to pay. Like, there are so many challenges, but the main thing is just to communicate and get through it together, and that's what we've done. And yeah, I'm very proud of us. How has your relationship changed you for the better? So I definitely think our relationship has changed me for the better, because I think in a lot of people's eyes that have known me before Marco wouldn't agree, because it was way easier to walk all over me before I met Marco. Marco has changed my opinion a lot and has taught me that I don't have to always say yes. And even though I do struggle with that, because I like to be a nice person, I like to help people, I like to give, but people start to use me and abuse me and all of those things, because I try and be a kind-hearted person. And he has taught me to kind of stand my ground, and I don't have to say yes all the time, you know what I mean? And don't let people walk all over you. And he's got that thing about him where he just doesn't care about other people's opinions of him, and I'm trying so hard to like feed off of that energy, and it's very hard for me because I'm very critical of myself, and if someone says something, it really affects me very, like, a lot. Like, I'm an emotional wreck. So he's teaching me to kind of learn how to deal with those things, and I really like that, And I think the other thing is that Marco has also taught me that it's okay to like nice things. Like, I always used to feel so bad liking nice things. Like, in the beginning of our relationship, it was so hard for me to accept gifts from his family and from him, because it's not something I was used to. And I don't know, like, I always felt like when people complimented something I had to explain, like, where I got it, and that it was cheap, and that it wasn't real, and that that's this, and just, I would, like, ramble on. Like, if someone would be like, oh, I love your earrings, I'm like, oh, thanks, they're Mr. Price, they're Mr. Price, yeah, they were only $20, and Marcus taught me to stop doing that, and just be like, yes, thank you. They are beautiful, I accept compliments and take it in, and not have to explain myself for liking the things that I like. So I think, in my personal opinion, like, Marco has really helped me find myself, and I think a lot of people still want me to be the person I was before we started dating, but I mean, if you're not growing, then what are you doing, you know? And I really think that I've grown since being with him. So that's me. When did we decide to get married? That was Marco. That was all Marco. We were dating a year and a half when he proposed, and we got married 2 years after we started dating, so 6 months after he proposed. No, I'm lying. It was a year after he proposed. Yeah, so 2.5 years after we started dating, a year after Marco proposed, we got married. And he was ready, and when he proposed, I was ready, so I just said yes. It wasn't a thing of when did we decide, because it's not something we like kind of just decided. We just kind of both had a feeling, you know, and it was just one of those things. Again, if you go to my channel and check out my Vlogmas videos, I did a whole video on my engagement and what happened, and then you guys will hear about that. Did we live together first? Yes, we did. Mark and I were dating 6 months when I moved in with him. It was mostly due to circumstances. I didn't have the best relationship with my mother at the time, and my living situation just wasn't ideal. And he was like, come stay with me, because I was pretty much there all the time anyway. And so I did, and we just kind of never went back from that. I definitely advocate for living together first, because there are things you need to learn about each other that you need to know before you like commit forever. Like, does he clean the way you like? Do you clean the way he likes? Do you guys like to cook together, or is all the responsibility gonna fall on you or fall on him? And is that person gonna be able to handle that? And things like that. You have to live together, and first know if you can live together before you fully commit. I 100% advocate for that. So yeah, we did, and I'm really glad we did. What do you do together for fun? Oh, you know, this has changed so much. Like, when we started dating, we partied a lot together. Then when we got our own place and we worked, every weekend was spent with friends, but like smaller scale. Then when we had kids, it changed to hanging with people that had kids, or going out to eat, or going to the movies, or things like that. And now I would say a lot of our time is spent just being at home together and watching movies, and cooking together is our new thing that we've been doing, and I love it so much. And just basically chilling together. We do want to try this year and start doing more things like together out of the house, but we want to involve the kids in those things too. So I don't know if it really counts, but yeah, we like to do everything together. Mark and I are literally attached by the hip. We are each other's best friend, and even though we get irritated with each other, we still want to do everything together. So we do everything together for fun. Everything. So yeah. What are your biggest arguments about? I think this would be the same problem in most relationships, but I would definitely say money. Because your girl likes to spend, so I usually spend all my money like that, and then I want something later in the month, and Marco's like, no, like, he's the saver, and he's the realistic one, and he's the one that will like keep us on track. But then I get really irritated, because I'm like, why every time I ask you want to say no to me? Like, you know, that's what our biggest arguments are about. And it'll be over stupid things like, I want takeout tonight, and he doesn't want to spend the money on it, and he's being realistic to say like, listen, we need to get through the month, and we still have to buy this and this and this, and I'm like, I want Chinese food tonight. And then yeah, that becomes an argument. So that's probably the thing we argue about the most. Mark and I don't have a lot of really big fights, but we have had a few, but we do bicker a lot, and that's just our thing. And I don't know, it's just what we do, and it's not like any hard feelings. It's not that we're unhappy, we just like to bicker. That's our thing. We're gonna, you know, push each other's buttons over everything, and yeah, it keeps the passion alive. So but yeah, that's we don't, yeah, I would say money is the biggest thing we ever argue about. Do you have children, and how did you make the decision to have children? Yes, we have 2 kids. We have Miles, he's a boy, he is 4, turning 5. And we have Orion, who is 1, turning 2, and he's also a boy, 2 boys. We didn't make the decision to have children. It just happened. I wish I had waited a little bit longer, but it's okay. Everything happens when it's meant to happen. Miles was an accident, and it just so happened to come. But he definitely changed our lives for the better. How long were we together? I fell pregnant after Marco proposed, and then we kind of had to move the wedding up because I didn't want to have the wedding after Miles was born. So then Miles came after we got married, the same year, so like a few months after we got married. That was in 2017. And then I went on more serious birth control because the one I was on clearly didn't work. And after that was really messing with my hormones and things and making me extremely depressive. So we made the joint decision to kind of stop it, and whatever happens. If we have another one, we did want another one, but we weren't planning it. And a year after stopping that, I fell pregnant with Orion, also kind of unexpectedly at the weirdest time. But I fell pregnant with Orion, and then he's here, and we're happy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Now I'm on an even more stronger contraceptive because we are done. So it's been a journey, but how has your children changed your marriage? So one thing I can say is, if you think moving in together or getting married is something that's going to affect your relationship drastically, it does not. The thing that affects your relationship drastically is having children. Having children changes everything. Your priorities change, your time changes, you get less sleep, so your mood changes. Everything changes when you have kids. And that puts the most strain on your relationship. The attention you're giving is shifted, and that can cause issues. Having kids is not a bad thing. It's really not, and I love my children so much. Do I think it put a strain on our relationship? Definitely in some instances. In other instances, I do feel like it brought us closer together. Ooh, someone's breaking something. In other instances, I do feel like it brought us closer together. So, do I regret it? Not at all. Not in the slightest. Just make sure you are ready, because it does impact your relationship. Don't think that if you have kids, it's not going to impact your relationship. It is, and it's going to make it harder, but it also does bring you guys closer together. But make sure both parties are ready for that situation, because, it's an adjustment. It's a serious adjustment. So, don't rush into having kids. Make sure y'all are both ready. And make it work, And final question. What is the biggest strength in your relationship? This to me is a very interesting question, and it's something that I feel like I really have to think about, because I feel like we are the strength as a relationship, as a couple, you know what I mean? So I don't know if we have one specific strength, because the way I see it is, how I feel is that where I lack, Marco makes up for it, and where he lacks, I make up for it. And I do believe that we're the perfect yin and yang match. We are completely different from each other, and yet we still are the same, and we like the same things, but we also like things that are completely opposite. We entertain each other's strange habits, and things like that, but somehow it just works. And I feel like we are strength as a couple. It's not that we have a specific strength. And we've made it through so much, and we've still got a lot to take on in the future, but I'm excited for it. Mark and I are very goal orientated, and we always set our goals, and when we do, we achieve them. So this year has been a bit strange because we haven't been able to set goals yet, but but we know that we would push each other. The one thing Mark and I always used to say to each other, right, is that I want to make you a better person for yourself, and I want you to make me a better person for myself. Don't make each other better to suit each other's needs. You want to better that person for themselves, and that person should better you for yourself. You're not trying to change that person to fit into what you want in a person. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something that we always kind of stood by, is like, be better for you, you know, don't be better for me type of situation. Because if you're a better person by yourself and I'm a better person by myself, we will be better together. It's not, there's no resentment, there's no anything, nobody's like changing for the other person, you're changing for yourself, you know what I mean? So that was always important for us, and we always stood by that. So yeah, also having the biggest like open branch of communication. Like, Mark and I talk about everything and anything, like where I stand, where my emotions are, how I feel about anybody. Like, I am honest with him about it all. And same goes for him. If he doesn't like somebody that I want to be around, or if there's something I'm doing that he doesn't like, we are honest about it. We are brutally honest about it. Like, you will always know where I stand, and I will always know where he stands with anything. There's no second guessing it, because we are like so honest with each other. Even if we know it might hurt, we'd rather we know where we stand about certain subjects or topics or people or anything, than just kind of like assume, you know, or just try and pretend to keep each other happy. Like, no, we are always honest, we are always open, and yeah, we are straight. Communication is number one for us. We talk about everything. So that's all my answers. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Don't forget to subscribe to both Lorne's channel and mine. Go and check me out. I'm a lifestyle vlogger, so yeah, I just basically do all things lifestyle, and I really enjoyed doing this video and chatting with you guys. So yeah, happy Valentine's Day for this month, and hopefully see you guys on my channel and see you guys on or down in the comments of this video. So yeah, bye guys.